bunks, how we doing? So I have not been on this channel for nearly 6 months. Loads of reasons really. Learning to drive, work, trying to grow Skeinhead, but most of all it's because the internet in Cornwall is shockingly bad. Even if you try to sign up for the most like super fast kind of fibre or whatever, you can't get it down here. So uploading videos onto YouTube takes about a week, and I'm not great at editing, so yeah, that's why I got like really impatient with it. But we're back, we're here, and today's video is something because last week I was in Margate with my twin sister, and this little Skeinhead team, isn't it? It's me, my twin sister and Paul, our best mate. We were talking about Skeinhead designs, brand new Skeinhead designs, and like where we want Skeinhead to go. And she kind of like notified me that, oh, you haven't done a video about the Knit and Purl Can Change the World design. And I was like, oh God, no, I haven't. So I'm on here today to do that really. I'm wearing my t-shirt, drawn by my twin sister, I love it. And I want to explain it a little bit like I have with the Femina designs. Yeah, so I wanted to talk about it today and what it means, the charity that it was going towards, why it's personal to me, that kind of thing. So I released it in October, Knit and Purl Can Change the World design. October's like a poignant month for me, but we'll get into that. And Knit and Purl Can Change the World is a phrase that I made up one day when I first moved to Cornwall. I was in the shower and I just thought about it. My brain is very like, I used to be in a band and my brain is very wired to making phrases, rhyming phrases like you do with lyrics, and Knit and Purl Can Change the World just came to my head, and it really was like kind of the ammunition to start Skeinhead, because I wanted to put it on some kind of merchandise or something so I could sell it to raise money for charity, an OCD charity like OCD UK. For me, like Knit and Purl Can Change the World is all about mental health. It's about how knitting helped me distract from the rituals that I had. When OCD was really bad and I didn't used to live in Cornwall, I had knitting inside and I had to have it perfect, so I never really knit because every stitch had to be perfect. If it wasn't, I'd feel like a failure and wouldn't do it anymore. When I came to Cornwall, my therapist suggested that knitting kind of like distracts your brain from doing those rituals. It made me learn that imperfection is okay. So knitting to me is very important. I forget sometimes how important it is for my mental health. It makes you feel like a sense of achievement. It makes you feel like you've not wasted your time for me. And since coming to Cornwall and being here nearly 2 years later, I've overcome OCD. And that's like a massive thing for me to say, which is great. I feel sometimes like it's an addiction where every day is a new day and you have to overcome it. But recently it's been okay. Like this, you know, sometimes I get in a little bit of a trough and I have to really work at it, but you know, touch wood, it's going to be fine. And the last few weeks, months maybe, there's never been much of an OCD issue, which is great. So should we talk about the design? So I did it on t-shirts and tote bags. That's why I'm wearing a lot of pink, because pink, we did inverted colours. So we did acid green and the acid green and pink for the countries. Basically, I wanted it fluorescent. I wanted it day-glo. I'm really inspired by X-ray specs, and I wanted something to like mimic that. And there's kind of a song and a single. The cover is The Day the World Turned Day-glo, and that was a massive inspiration for me. And if you see that cover, it does look a lot like that. But I wanted to describe go through the design really. So this is the design, and let's go through it. I'll come up close so you can see it. So where to start? So obviously she's got Knit and Purl on her knuckles. These are India's hands. I find it funny when you look at them because to me they really look like India. And the hands have got the black flag bars, and India did that because I've got it on my hand, so she had my wrist, so I think she did a little nod to me there. You see everything went black scissors from black flag. There's a bat. Now most of our designs, nearly all apart from the brand new one, have a bat on them because it's a nod to the Cancer Bats, a band that have really helped me, not just like when I used to be in a band and like my career and stuff, but they're really nice guys and their mentality is like positive mental attitude. They've helped me a lot and I owe them a lot, so I like putting a little bat in there. Also nod to Halloween too, you know, Halloween is every day. Now this is the most important part, I think. It's the Smashing Pumpkins heart logo, and if anyone knows me, and if you don't know me, I adore Smashing Pumpkins. this video's on here about why, really. The drama Jim Chamberlain is a massive influence on my life. That's why I've got his signature tattooed on me. I adore him. I think he's amazing. I love his work. I love his mentality in life. He's really modest, really humble, really kind. So I wanted something that had a little nod to Smashing Pumpkins, which is the heart there. Now, the thing I love about the most, obviously, if you look at it, the world is a ball of wool, and you can see all the strands there, and it obviously leads off, the tails lead off to make the and can change the world there. We've got a little spidey spider there, which is a tattoo that Henry Rollins has. It's a clever little thing that my twin put in that I love. Obviously, another massive inspiration of mine is Henry Rollins, so that's on there. And what else? I think that's it. I think that's everything. India's going to be watching this and scream right now at the computer screen, being like, no, there's this as well. I think I might have missed it, I don't know. But I think that's everything on there. I love it. I love the design, and I'm really proud of it and what it stands for. It's probably the most poignant design we've ever made. It resonates a lot, and luckily it resonated a lot with you guys as well. When I said that the profits were going to go to OCD UK, you guys came through. The pre-order was amazing, and I'm so grateful that Skeinhead has that kind of family, that kind of community, that everyone banded together because they knew how much it would mean. We released it in October because October in 2017. Yeah, I moved down to Cornwall in 2018. 2017 was a crap time in my life. It was when OCD had the most hold over me. I was literally housebound. Yeah, OCD is I wouldn't condemn anybody to have OCD. My worst enemy, I would not wish it on anyone. It is a horrible anxiety disorder. Sometimes it rears its ugly head. At other times people have it for their whole lives. I had it like low key my whole life. I think when I was a kid I needed my hair to be perfect, otherwise I thought I wouldn't pass exams, and little things like that. It manifested into this huge thing where I thought that if I didn't do my rituals then I would die, or my life would crumble and I would lose everything. And ironically, OCD did that anyway. The rituals did that. Like, my life wasn't really worth living, really. Like, I wanted to enjoy life, and I couldn't, because like I said, I was housebound by the end. I was spending about at least 4 hours a day cleaning. That was my rituals. I was cleaning. It was all about cleanliness, because I thought if I got ill then I'd lose my job, which I'd lose my house, and I'd lose the band, and yeah, I'd have to move back in with a mum in Cornwall, and look where we are. So obviously it didn't go well. But the thing is luckily I'm very grateful that I've got a really good support system, and my twin sister knew. I don't think she realised how bad it was until she saw it, and then she came around my house and realised, you know, I'd have a panic attack every time I had to leave the house. I was changing my clothes a lot, changing my shoes, like these aren't the right shoes, I'm not comfy enough, I've got to change shoes, and it was everything like that, and locking doors and checking light switches and things like that. It became obscene. It really did. I was washing my hair 6 times a day. My hair was falling out. My skin was paper thin almost, because it was so damaged from me washing it over and over again. My bills were through the roof, because obviously the amount of water I was using, the amount of cleaning products I was using, and it took a massive strain on my mental health, my relationships with other people, and my working life. So much so that I, like I said, couldn't go to work anymore. Yeah, it was just shit. It was shit. And if you're suffering from OCD, please send me a message. Because like I said, I won't wish it on anyone, and it's just horrible. It's terrible. Mine manifested really quickly. Within like a year, it was really bad. And like I said, I lived in Leeds, and I went to doctors about it, and they put me on a list for therapy, 8-month waiting list. I got a CBT therapist, and she was about my age, and it's not her fault, she just wasn't very, didn't connect with her very well. Like I said, she was my age, and I saw her and I saw how amazing her life was, and I thought, oh my god, I'll never be like that. I'll never be happy like she is. And I think she delved too much in her own life, and I got to I knew too much about her. I wasn't really learning like skills to get over OCD. It was almost like anecdotal, really. So they came apart, and there was like a little, I'm gonna give a little trigger warning here, for anyone that does get triggered by things like suicide. But in October, it kind of like grew and grew and grew, and then by October 2017, I tried to commit suicide because of it. And I think that, yeah, that was a point where my twin India just got me out of there, got me out of the relationship I was in, which was crap, got me out of the house that was basically like a prison. I just couldn't leave. And then I was very isolated, being in a town that I didn't really like and a house I didn't really like. I didn't have any friends because I never saw them, because I couldn't leave the house. And I was very isolated, and so ironically, like I say, my worst case scenario was leaving Leeds, and the band breaking up and everything like that. And it happened. And I had to live with my mum in Cornwall. And I was like, my life's over. And honest to God, when I moved down here, I was like a vegetable. I was a zombie. I couldn't do anything. And you know, when you live in I think when you live on your own with OCD, it kind of manifests itself. I've said that word a lot, sorry. But it does build and build and build, because no one's really saying, no, don't do that, kind of thing. And when I moved here to Cornwall, it was really difficult with my mum. She didn't realise how bad my rituals had become. I was trying to fit my rituals in with living with my mum, and it was a bit of a fucking nightmare. Obviously, of course it's going to be. I was suicidal. I was, I didn't want to live, because I thought there was no life after this. Like, the prospect of having OCD for the rest of my life made me feel like it's not worth living, because I can't live like this anymore. It was a hollow life. I can't really describe it. It was just horrible. I couldn't do any of my passions. I was just constricted by this shit anxiety disorder. So if I'm rambling on here, just trying to give a bit of context about why OCD UK is so important and personal to me. But that's how it went. And not knowing at the time, but it was the best thing I could have done, was move down here. Because the 8-month waiting time in Leeds was down to 6 weeks in Cornwall, which is unheard of. I mean, within the month of moving here, because I was suicidal, they connected me with a programme called Outlook. Honest to God, if I raised £1 million tomorrow, I'd give every single penny to that part of the NHS, because they were amazing. I had a therapist who was very strict, older than me. She's very authoritative, kind but strict, and I needed that. That's the way I learn and I change. I do the same with my driving teacher. She's my friend, but I need that boundary strict thing. And she was incredible. She was like, you're doing this, you're going to go home, you're going to implement it. And that's how my CBT therapy went. I never at any point had the option of taking tablets. I know some people take medication to get over OCD. I was never given that option. I'm glad I didn't, because I was kind of like a hypochondriac when I had OCD. So I'd take things like, I'll take a migraine tablet in case I get a migraine, which isn't what you should do really. And I think I would have abused those tablets quite a lot. So they gave me CBT therapy, and she was fab. I'm not going to say it was easy, because it fucking ain't easy. But if you've got OCD, I truly recommend it. And I know I know a lot of people that are frustrated with CBT therapy. It doesn't work for them. I would just say keep going, because you get given this like online. That's the first thing I got given, like an online program that you do. And I did that. It didn't really work for me. And I was writing fucking novels, that says, oh, how do you feel about OCD? Right, word count was elapsed and everything. So that's why they gave me a therapist, because it got worse. And it was a lot of writing. It was a lot of implementing experimentation. I would have to write down what I was scared of, out of 10, how scared I was, what I think will happen, and then what actually happened. So say an example of my therapy was, if I didn't change my bed sheets every week, I would get ill. I wouldn't be able to go to work. That means I'd stay at home and I would die. And it sounds drastic, but OCD does that to your brain. So my therapist was like, right, don't change bed sheets. Don't change it for a week. See what happens. Delay it a day. It wasn't drastic. It wasn't like cold turkey, because I did that in Leeds actually. I had she was very, very like, I think about light switches, sit with the light off and sit with it until you feel comfortable. Mate, I sat there for hours. I'd miss days of work. I'd be sitting there on tenterhooks, because having a light switched on or whatever. So that one didn't really work for me. But like I say, the therapy, CBT therapy in Cornwall, Penzance, definitely did. And it was, if you want to hear more about my OCD journey, I might do a video about it more. But you kind of get the idea. It was a lot of experimentation. I I lived for those weekly counselling sessions. I tell you that now. I didn't work. I couldn't work. I stayed at home and I knitted. That's what I did. I didn't really tell her about the knitting until we discussed it about my hobbies, and she was like, great, try work on it more, try deliberately make a mistake and leave it and see how you feel, and that kind of thing. And it kind of like made me overcome it, I feel. I definitely poured myself into Skeinhead. I am a creative person, I'm more of an academic person, but I need a project, and Skeinhead was definitely that. And luckily my twin, who's a talented one, doing these amazing designs, she's a great illustrator, amazing illustrator, the best I've ever seen, really, honest to God. I'm not just saying that she's my twin, she really is. She was full on board with it. She was like, right, if you put the time in, I'll put the time in. Whereas my other sister took me to all the therapy sessions, made sure I got there in for the snow, and talked me through it. And now we are 2 years down the line. I stopped my therapy in August, and I was shit scared, and I had some relapses. But now it's got to a point where I'm more angry at myself for having a relapse than scared I am if I don't do it. And that to me is a great place to be. I'd rather be angry like, fuck's sake, Mickey, why did you check the door twice? Than fear of leaving the house and going, oh God, I've got to check the door twice, you know? So that's why I wanted to release it in October. I released it on the day, I released it on the day that I tried to commit suicide, which is October 21st. It's not a somber thing for me. It's a thing now that I am like, you know what, never get back in that situation. Never put yourself in a shit relationship. Never put yourself in a city you don't want to be in. You do you. And I try to say that to everybody. You know, don't feel trapped by something, because it will materialise into something like an anxiety disorder, like depression. I see that as like your brain telling you you're not happy, you know? Sometimes you can't help it. Sometimes some people are born with this. It's a chemical imbalance. Sometimes it just manifests. But to me, my body, I now know that if OCD or anxiety rears its ugly head, it's because I'm not happy and something needs to change. And like I said, that drastic move helped me. And, you know, I wouldn't be where I am now. I wouldn't have Skeinhead without OCD. I wouldn't have my independence. I was so dependent on other people when I lived in Leeds. I needed my twin. I needed my ex-friends, really, because, you know, I'm not grateful I had OCD. Like I say, it's shit. But fuck me, it really did whittle out the fake friends and people that weren't there to help. Because if people aren't there to help you in your bad days, they shouldn't be there for your good, you know? I wouldn't class myself as anxious or having anxiety anymore. I wouldn't class myself as being depressed. I have shit days, but not like what it was. If anything, my OCD counselling has made me more, what's the word? Like, not dirty, but like, I don't care about cleaning anymore. I don't care about if I look messy. Like, you know, I used to wash my hair 6 times a day. Now I wash my hair once every 6 days. If you'd told Mickey 3 years ago that, she wouldn't have believed you. She wouldn't have believed you. The more I pull back, because I really wanted my band to work, and I put loads of pressure on myself for it to work, and I've realised the less pressure you put on something, the more it will manifest in something enjoyable and happy. And that's with Skeinhead. I really try to not put pressure on anyone, especially myself and my sister and our best mate, to make it perfect, because putting that pressure on therefore makes it not perfect, because you've not had fun doing it. And if it's not fun, why are you wasting your life doing it, you know? Yeah, that was my OCD journey. I don't know if you can see on the wall there, maybe I should get it down. Can you see it? It's my... No, I'm going to get it. Give me a second, I'm going to grab it. I'm really proud of this. That's why it was framed up there. I've taken it down, and it's the certificate that OCD UK sent me, a certificate of appreciation for the money we raised for these designs. I bawled my eyes out when I got this in the post, because it was like, not validation, but it kind of like, it was a relief, because I've turned something that was so negative into my life into such positive, and I really hope this helps other people. The lady that I spoke to, Ashley Forward, she told me where the money was going, and it was helping people who were like me, couldn't leave their house in the Cornwall area, which is great. So helping people who are near me leave their house and reclaim their independence and their life back, really. And yeah, I have that framed because it's a massive achievement of mine, and it was done by Skeinhead orders. It was done by you punks, and this would not have happened without you guys. Like, shadow of a doubt, because I can put a t-shirt design up there and say, guys, it's for sale. If you guys don't pre-order, then it's just an idea, it's just a thought that will never come to fruition. And so I'm so grateful for you guys. So yeah, that's the Knit and Purl Can Change the World design explained, I think, hopefully. A little backstory about my life, my anxiety disorder. The only thing I would say with people with OCD, I know people still have it, and sometimes I get a bit anxious talking about it because it's a negative part of my life and you think, oh god, I don't want to talk about it. But it is talking about it that A, helps other people get over it, and B, reminds you never to go back there. So if you have OCD, don't let other people belittle you. Terms like people going, oh yeah, I'm so OCD, I need my stationery set or perfectly aligned, or oh yeah, I need my kitchen clean. No, that's not OCD. It controls every fucking part of your life. Like, I always used to say my brain was split into two halves. It was Mickey that didn't have OCD, that wanted to do stuff, and it was OCD Mickey. And OCD Mickey, 9 times out of 10 go, you can't do that, you'll die, you can't do that, you'll get ill, you can't do that, you know, something bad will happen. And it was the other Mickey trying to fucking win, and it does control your whole life and take over. So don't let people belittle you if you say you've got OCD, because it is a fucking severe anxiety disorder. I'd also say, if you've had something like CBT therapy and it's not worked for you, keep fucking going. It took me 3 goes, different therapists, different technique, third technique. That was the time where it worked for me. So don't give up hope. It'll be okay. You'll get through it. And I'd also say, get help, talk to someone. I'm always fucking here. Like, you know, on this YouTube channel, leave a comment. If you don't want it to be seen public, send me a message. Instagram, send me a message. Our email is skeinhead@hotmail.com. Send us a fucking email. Like, I will talk to you about it and I will listen to you, and give advice if you want it. Any day, any hour, because I needed that. And at points when I moved down here, I was Cornwall was an isolated place, yeah. I'm literally living in Penzance. It's literally the corner of the country. It's like a point and then it's the sea. I couldn't be more isolated, and I felt so alone, and it was fucking terrible, and I don't want anyone else to feel like that. Bear in mind, I lived in Leeds City Centre, and I was in a house and no one knew I was there, you know, so I also felt isolated then. So definitely send me a message. Like, don't sit with it on your own. That's the only thing I would advise. And just keep at it. Just keep trying to get over it. Sorry, that was a car. I can't see the tunnel here. My bedroom's on top of a tunnel. Anyway, just keep going. Just keep going and support others. If you don't have OCD, and you're a loved one that has it, like I say, I lost a lot of people out of my life that A, didn't get it, B, tried to punish me for it, being like, well, if I bollock her, then she'll stop doing it. That doesn't work. I would say, try not to be an enabler, but help them. Talk to them, try get them help. Like, I moved down here and I was, like I said, a zombie, and I had to go to the doctors, and I can't remember what I said, but I needed that help, and I asked my sisters and they realised and helped me with it. So if you're a loved one or you know someone that's got OCD, be patient with them. Don't ridicule them or mock them or try and like make them feel shit about it. They know it's shit. They're acutely aware that it's shit, and it's embarrassing and annoying you as much as them, you know. But it's not deliberate. It's not a deliberate thing. I wasn't checking, you know. I was like a sim. I was like a person, like checking door, checking light, checking that door, checking window, checking door, checking light, and I was going round. I was walking around like a fucking lost person on Sims. I didn't do that for a laugh. I did it because I felt like there was no other way. So I would just say, be patient, but try not to enable them. Try not to, you know, oh, can you check the door for me, make sure it's locked? Try not to do that, because then you're kind of telling them, oh, it's fine to do so. Just try to get them to see they need help in a good, positive way, yeah? They need to, like someone with OCD needs to understand that enough's enough, and that can take a long time. Not everything is to do with cleanliness. Not everything is to do about yourself. I know a lot of people with OCD that are worried about their family rather than themselves, or it's about God, or it's about certain foods. It can manifest, honest to God, in anything. Mine was just cleanliness because of, like, yeah, my upbringing, and that was the thing that resonated with me, really, was cleanliness. So yeah, I hope this has been, I'll put my little certificate back. I hope this has been helpful. I hope this hasn't been too negative. I'm really sorry if it's been too negative or too lengthy. I just wanted to describe, yeah, the OCD Knit and Purl Can Change the World design more, so you guys could understand it, understand the backstory, understand the little hidden gems in it. So, you know, it relates to punk, it relates to my favourite music, Smash Pumpkins, Black Flag, Henry Rollins. But yeah, that's the design. It's, like I say, it's a huge influence. It's X-ray specs with polystyrene. But we all knew that. Look at me. Of course I am. Of course I'm influenced by a polystyrene. Everyone names Marianne, but I'll call her Polly. She had a lot of mental health issues. So in a way, I feel like it's kind of like a nod to her, because even my heroes and like people that we all idolise have mental health issues. So it's nothing to be ashamed of. Nothing that you should be like, oh, fucking hell, I wish I was more like this person. Well, you are, because all of us experience depression, anxiety at one point in our lives, and it makes us, no, it doesn't feel it, it makes us better people. So never beat yourself up about it. The other things to talk about on here, we've just released the Skeinhead design. That's hopefully going to print in the next couple of weeks. I really hope you guys like that one. I will do another video like this to describe it. It's about, obviously, a spin-off Jane Austen design. Skeinhead, Jane Austen. I love Jane Austen. We know that. We've had a video on here about my trip, my Jane Austen little pilgrimage to Bath. And the money raised from that one, the charity of choice is Jane Austen House Museum, where I love that place. It's like my happiest place on earth. For me, it's like Disneyland. And Disneyland for Janeites. And yeah, I'll hopefully get a video up describing that design. But if you want to pre-order that, or if you want to check that out, go on our Instagram, which is Skeinhead. Go on our Etsy shop, which is also Skeinhead. Etsy.com/shop/Skeinhead to check out the design, to see the pre-order. It'll be another t-shirt, but a white one. Sizes go from small to 5XL, and tote bags as well. And I've said it before, I'll say it every day, I'll say it again now. Please, if you're suffering from an anxiety disorder, if you're suffering from mental health issues and you feel alone, please know you're never alone. I love Skeinhead for so many reasons, but mainly because it's introduced me to all you guys. I've made friends out of it, and we've built this community, and that community is there for you. I'm there for you. So please send me a message. Do never ever feel like you're encroaching on something if you message me about something really random that's not knitting, not punk. You know, if you just message me saying, hey, I'm not having a good day, I don't care if you're my best mate or I've never met you before, I will help you. We will talk about it. I'm like an ear to listen, or I can give you some advice on my personal experiences. Honestly, you're not alone. So I hope you guys have a great week, and I hope your knitting whips and your crochet whips are going well, and I will check in with you again soon for the next video. Bye, punks!